Okay, that's good. So we're recording the session just to do a check. Be sure that we are being streamed on Facebook. That we are streamed. Okay, so yeah, we are being streamed on Facebook, and that's good. It's time to start. So you're welcome to tonight's session. And this will be a very informative session and a very impactful one. And I want you to invite your friends and your families and your loved ones, because there will be a lot of information that will be shared with us tonight. So please, let's all be here. Let's all be here. Okay. Let's all be here as we'll start the session tonight. Okay. Okay, good. We're good to go. So 1, 2, 3, go. Now, tonight, it's on how to break into tech. As a cloud engineer. How to break into tech as a cloud engineer. And the first thing is, I will introduce myself. Founder, digital consulting. Then the second thing I will do is I will introduce introduction digital consulting. Digital consulting. So I will introduce to you digital consulting. Then after that, we look at why tech, why break into tech, why cloud engineering. So why tech, why break into tech, why cloud engineering. Then after that, we look into what exactly is cloud engineering. What exactly is cloud engineering? Then after that, we say how to break into tech as a cloud engineer. How to break into tech as a cloud engineer. Then we look at next steps. Then question and answer. So next step, question and answer. So that's the plan for tonight. And let's get into it right away. So introduction of Founder Digital Consulting. So since I'm your host tonight, I think you should know a few things about myself. And I'll start with the pictures. I'll start with the pictures, then I'll show the slides. Start with the pictures, then show the slides. Right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. So this is me. This is me right here. As you can see, this is my wife. I'm married. Okay. This is me right here, right here. I'm a pastor. I love fun, love to travel. This was as a real estate program. And yeah, as you can see, I love to do all this. Right, this is the church. Okay, so that's that about myself, but I have a little slide I try to use to just give you a few, just to give you an idea of who I am and what I do. And I think I will just share this slide with you. All right, I'll wrap this up in 2-3 minutes. Then we'll move to Agital, right? So getting to know about Agital. All right, so I'll share the slide with you right here. Okay, so who am I? I transitioned to tech like most of you. I used to work at a multinational Big Four tax and auditing firm, that is a PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and I was there from 2013 to 2018 as a senior tax accountant. Then I got a job with the largest indigenously owned Nigerian oil exploration and production company, and I was there from December 2018 to February 2020. So I resigned, and why did I resign? Because I got into tech and I saw that there were a whole lot of opportunities in tech, right? I am currently the senior pastor of Household of Kings Church, which is at Bega, Lagos. So that's my picture. I'm married, this is my wife, as you can see. This is myself right here. This is me at the start of the church, doing our thing, right? This is at the start of the church. So that's that about me. You can also check me out on Instagram. I have a page on Instagram that you can find some interesting things about me, right? So I'm a pastor. I'm a tech trainer. I run Agital. Some of you also know me with Techland. Techland is a K-12 ed tech. We train pupils from year 1 to year 11 and 12 in the UK schools. And I also run Agital. I'm also into real estate. So that's just about me, right? But tonight is for tech. Tonight is for tech. And the reason why I say this is because some people know me with other things and just trying to put it together. So I also have a page where I share my thoughts on, and you could actually check out the page and get inspired. You find a lot of inspiring thoughts from the page. So this is Omiyale Yomi on Instagram. And when you check the page, you can get to see some of my thoughts, some of my persuasions, and that's it. Right, so that's that about myself. So back to our slide. Or our outline. So right here, back to our outline. So I'm done with one. I'm done with introduction of founder. I've shown you about myself, and that's about it. Now the next thing is Agital Consulting. So I'm the founder of Agital Consulting. Agital Consulting is a tech training institute with, at the moment, well over 60 staffs, comprising admin staff, teaching assistants, tutors, and career coaches. When you get into our program, you get to know what all this means, right? And we are presently operating in 3 continents, Africa, Europe, and North America. Tonight's session is for people who are in Europe, right? So that's about Agital Consulting. We are 5 years old. And in the course of 5 years, we have trained thousands of Africans and non-Africans and helped them to transition into a career in tech without a tech background. But don't just take my word for it. Let's go on a search. Let's go on a journey and let's find out how we have done this, right? So the first thing I want you to do is, because there have been times people have reached out to me and they've said, oh, you know, I want to do a training with Agital Consulting, but I don't know, I've attended trainings in the past and they make a lot of promises. And at the end of the day, you just realize that it's not what you think, right? And I tell them, okay, well, I think you should have done your due diligence before you register for any program. And if you are to register for a program with Ejita Consulting, kindly do this due diligence. And I'm trying to show you now how you can do a due diligence on us, right? So this is what you do, right? Try to do the due diligence on us right away. So here we go. Here we go. So, oh, okay, I've not even shared my screen. Sorry, I thought I was sharing my screen. Okay, so here we go. You do Ejita Consulting reviews. Ejita Consulting reviews, search for reviews. Then you go to reviews. So you can check out our reviews. That's level 1. Check out the reviews. Don't just take the word for it. So here you can see the reviews of a lot of students who have gone. Now, these are not, most students don't give reviews, except if something bad happens, right? If something bad happens, then they're going to give a review. But most students who attend the training and they just move on with their life, and but at least we're still able to get a small portion of our students who feel the need to tell the world about what we are doing. So that is why we still have quite a good number of reviews here. So that's the starting point. So check out our reviews. The second thing to do is go to LinkedIn. And I'll tell people why is LinkedIn so important? Is because LinkedIn shows the kind of people who attend a training program, and it shows what they've done with the training program. It shows you who they are, right? And what their experience was during the course of the training program. So LinkedIn is a very powerful resource to know the quality of a training program. And I will take you to LinkedIn now, right? It's a very powerful resource. So here's what you will do, taking you there, taking you to LinkedIn. Okay, no problem. Let's do this. We're going to LinkedIn now so you can find out more about Ejita Consulting. So off to LinkedIn. Off to LinkedIn, right? So we're good to go. So here's what I want you to do. When you get to LinkedIn, go to Ejita Consulting, right? You go to Ejita Consulting, right? And once you get to Ejita Consulting on LinkedIn, you click on post, right? You click on post. When you click on post, you see our post, you see what people are doing. You see Aluogo Emmanuel, you see what he's up to. You see Pascal Francis, right? But don't stop there. That is page 1. Then you go to page 2 on LinkedIn. You go to page 2, right? And on page 2, please post. Very important. Okay, so you go back, times does this. Go back. Okay. Now we're on to post. We're here. So see all post results. Oh, why is all this happening? To refresh this. There's a glitch in their system. That's why we're having all this. There's a glitch here. But if you do it on your system, you'll see the post, you see the people. No, I'll just say from my network, this page. Just a glitch here, which it's affecting. I would have loved to show you the post, but not to waste time on that. These are the few ones that we could find on the first page, right? Maybe if I can click next. I can click next, right? But that's not a problem. So then the third thing is check out their Instagram page. Check out their Instagram page. So you want to find out about what an organization is doing or not doing well. check out their Instagram page. So I will show you our Instagram page. Then from there, we are done on this side. We are done on this. So check out their Instagram page. We're good to go. Good to go. So let's go. Share screen, go to Instagram, share. So, right, we're on Instagram now, and this is our Instagram page. And as you can see, there are a lot of posts here. It is a personal post. This is a student testimonial. This is a student testimonial. As you can see, this is a student testimonial, right? This is a student testimonial, right? This is a successful student completion, right? So just go on this page and you see a lot of testimonials upon testimonials upon testimonials. So that will just show you an idea of what the Institute is all about. So I think I'm done with that side. So back to my slide, introduction to digital consulting. So I've taught you what digital consulting is all about. Now we move to the next thing, which is now very important. Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cloud engineering? Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cloud engineering? So at this point, I'll share a slide. I'll use a slide to bring this home to us. Now tonight, we will be having Abid. Abid is a technical recruiter with LinkedIn. He has worked at LinkedIn. He has worked at Uber. He has worked at Microsoft. And we also have two of our students who, just like you, attended a webinar and they are doing amazing things with the training. So they will also be coming on board tonight to share their experience at the Agital program. Now, that being said, I would share this slide with you. Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cloud engineering? Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cloud engineering? So let's get going. I'll be sharing this. Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cloud engineering? Now let's get into it. Let's get into it now. So why tech? Why switch to a career in tech? So the thing is, IT opportunities are abundant, but the laborers are few, right? IT opportunities are abundant, the laborers are few. The CompTIA jobs report, there's potential for remote jobs, flexible job schedules, freelancing, and a shortcut into making CG income. When it comes to tech, no IT background needed, no university degree needed. More than 26% of IT workers don't hold a degree. Almost 49% of IT job postings in 2017 did not list a degree as a minimum requirement for candidates. So the interesting thing about tech is that you can transition to tech without a tech background. I know you've heard that all the time, but the fact is true. All you just need is training, projects, certifications, and you are good to go. So get those trainings, get the projects, get the certifications, and you're fine. And the interesting thing is you can start at any age. At any age. You can start at any age. Now, there's something I would like to show us. Let me go to LinkedIn and see if I can show you on LinkedIn. Right? Hopefully, I can show you without stress. So there's a lady I always talk about a lot, and that is Bookie Wright. She used to be an actress, Nollywood actress, acted a lot of movies, but at the age of 44, Bookie Wright transitioned to tech. And today she works in the US as a senior IT auditor, right? So you don't have to, you don't need a tech background. You are not limited by your age. You're not limited by your age. You're not limited by your tech background. Once you are ready to learn, you are good to go, right? So that is very important. But I want to share with you some opportunities here. So it's a cloud engineer, cloud engineer, cloud engineer. So like I said, no age constraint, you can start at any time, right? So while I'm waiting for that to work, let me just share this with you. Share this with you. Okay, so while that is loading. Now, so remote jobs, fact or fiction? Now, the reality is that there are people who work remotely in tech, and there are a lot of jobs on LinkedIn, remote job websites. We have Reed, we have Glassdoor, we have Monster. There are a lot of tech jobs there. High in demand skills. There's a need for, once you have your optimized CV, you have your profile, and you attract, you don't chase. And of course, the interview process, right? So, but let's make it practical. Let's make it practical. Let's make it practical right now. Engineer. Okay. Okay, so let's make this practical. So I'll just use LinkedIn as an example tonight because of our time. So on LinkedIn right here, for United Kingdom alone, when you use the keyword, cloud engineer, you see 520 results. There are 520 results for cloud engineer, right? So here we have it, and we have all these jobs here. Junior infrastructure. So let's look at one of these jobs. So this is 22 hours ago. So we're in search of a junior infrastructure and cloud engineer to join the team, ideally based in our Glasgow office, right? And here and there, this and this. You provide this. So who do we need? We are looking for someone with a passion for infrastructure, cloud-based technology. You be self-motivated, able to multitask, have a working knowledge of AWS, Azure, have a working knowledge of these, have a basic understanding, have a good understanding, have a strong experience in this. Nothing about university degree here. That's interesting about tech. There are many tech jobs that don't even need a university degree. What they're interested in is, do you have project work? Do you have a portfolio of projects? Can you do the work? And that's it for them. So let's check another one. Cloud infrastructure engineer. This is remote. This is like a month ago. I think I want us to check the ones that are 24. Okay, past 1 week is still okay. Past 1 week, let's reduce the results. In the past 1 week, so junior infrastructure, DevOps engineer, cloud engineer. So let's go for this, cloud engineer, right? So about the job, they were established in this responsibility, delivering and implementing Azure solution, transitioning workloads, integrating and overseeing, assisting clients, architecting, designing, skills, migrating from on-prem to cloud infrastructure. All these things are nothing, right? So 55,000 pounds with strong benefits package, that's it. Nothing on a university degree and nothing on a computer science degree. If you can do the job, you are good to go, right? And 5 days ago, 27 people clicked apply. So that's a lot of people have not even applied for this job, just 27 people, right? So let's look at another one, cloud infrastructure engineer. Now, another thing I want to say is some of these jobs may actually ask for 3 to 5 years experience, but that is nothing to worry about. I always tell people that the easiest jobs to get are the middle level jobs. Those are the easiest jobs to get, not even the entry level jobs. So I tell our students not to apply to entry level jobs. If you apply to entry level jobs in tech, in cloud, you are just following the hard route. Number one, they don't pay as much as the mid-level jobs. Number two, there are fewer entry-level jobs. Most organizations are looking for people who have a bit of experience. So the question people now ask is, Oh, sir, so if you are saying we should apply for mid-level roles, how do I apply for a mid-level job role when I'm just transitioning into tech? And that is where a boot camp comes in. Because in a boot camp like ours, which I will still be sharing more knowledge with you later on, you are trained. You are trained in such a way that by the time you are done with the boot camp, based on the projects you have done, based on the certifications you have acquired, based on the tools you have used, your skill set is equivalent to that of a person who has spent 3 to 5 years in the industry. So if you are applying for entry-level jobs, you are unlikely to get entry-level jobs. Number one, there are not many entry-level jobs. Most organizations are not looking for entry-level. They are looking for people who are exposed, people who are experienced, people who have the skill set. Number two, when you apply for entry-level job roles, you are not going to get a very good pay. The jobs are fewer. Most people are applying for entry-level jobs. The pay isn't that great. So your best bet is to go for a job that requires 3 to 5 years work experience. Those are the mid-level roles. And those are even easier to get once you have gone through a proper training. So like this one now, they are doing 65 pounds to 70 pounds per year. Not bad. And infrastructure as a code, CI/CD, cloud migration, automation, Azure security, monitoring. And so this and this, or you can just do this, right? So they say, oh, now somebody says, oh, yeah, bachelor's degree, or okay, or a related field or equivalent experience. Equivalent experience. And what we do in Agital is that when you attend the boot camp with us, at the end of the boot camp, from the day you get into the boot camp, your experience starts to count. So when you are done with the boot camp, you already have like 6 months experience with Agital Consulting, right? That you can use anywhere. So, and if there's a need for work reference, as it may be, we're always ready to do that for you. So that is how this industry plays. So you need work reference, we get that for you, right? Because from the first day you start the training, you've already started work. Number two is that during the course of the 6 months training, you're already building a portfolio of projects. Your portfolio of projects is equivalent to work experience, because when you get into the industry, it is still the same things that you'll be doing there. Number three thing I also want to say is that when it comes to these jobs, it's about Azure, AWS, GCP. So in Agital, we actually teach the three. We teach the three. We start with Azure, then we go on to AWS, and we also teach you GCP. And the reason is because most organizations are multi-cloud. They are multi-cloud. So they use Azure, they use AWS, just in case something goes wrong. So you are not just taught on one platform or one technology, right? You are taught on the three technologies. You start with Azure, which is more difficult to learn than AWS. Then after that, you learn AWS, you find your way. Once you know Azure, you can figure out AWS, then you are taught GCP. So Azure and AWS are the two, they are the big guys, right? They control the market, and GCP is also coming along. So this is how this thing works, right? It's not rocket science. Get the skill, get the training, get the certifications, and I will be sending the certifications to the group after the webinar tomorrow. Get the certifications, get the portfolio of projects, get a good work reference, apply, pass your interviews, and you are good to go. So it's a very straightforward system. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, you know, your first job that you apply for, you get the first job. No. Anybody who's telling you that is just lying to you. But the reality is that if you have the skill set, you have a portfolio of projects, you have a work reference, you have a well-optimized LinkedIn profile, you have a good CV, and you're applying, you will definitely get a job. It's not rocket science, because the jobs are there. Now, as you can see, in the past 1 week for cloud engineer alone, 165 results. Now that's cloud engineer. If I change it to Azure now, more results will come up. So there are many ways you can search. You can search with Azure. Azure is a cloud technology. So Azure right now, you are seeing 2,676 results, and that is in the last 1 week. So their jobs are always there, right? Another thing, I could also change it to AWS. AWS. So anything AWS, and if I do that, You see 4,125, 27 result, 4,217 result. So that is on and on. So there are lots of jobs. Just get the skill. And this is the past 1 week, right? This is the past 1 week. So let me get back to my slide. Let me get back to my slide. Right. So the optimized process, the interview process. So now the question is, or before we even start talking about the jobs, oh, the jobs are there, the jobs this, the jobs that. So the question is, what exactly is cloud computing? What exactly is cloud computing? Right. Let's just give a brief definition of what cloud computing is. What exactly is this thing called cloud computing itself? Right, what exactly is cloud computing? So I will share this slide again. Okay, well, cloud computing is a technology model that enables on-demand access to a shared pool of computing resources, such as servers, storage, applications, and services over the internet. So to just make this very easy for you to understand, and I'll just break it down, is just think of your power supply, right? So you don't have your own power plant, right? You don't have your own power plant. You don't have your own solar power plant or your hydroelectric power station. All you just do is you pay for electricity and they supply the power to your house, and that's it. So that same way, instead of organizations having their own mainframe computers, their own data farms, right? And they end up not using all these resources. Then comes the concept of cloud computing, whereby they can pay for what they use. So they don't have to pay for the entire infrastructure. So I think I will use Amazon to explain this. I'll use Amazon to break this thing down to you, right? Even though I'm conscious of the time. So Amazon is like today is the largest e-commerce store on earth. And to have that size of operation, that massive size of operations, right? A lot of processes, a lot of resources, computing resources are involved. We are talking about servers, we're talking about storage, we're talking about applications, we're talking about services are involved. To have that kind of e-commerce store, that size, processing a lot of transactions per second, right? So Amazon had to invest a lot into mainframe computers. They had to invest into data farms. These are large expanse of land filled with supercomputers, right? Ensuring that storage is fine, processing speed is accurate, just to power these massive operations. Then, so they were investing into this infrastructure, investing into this to ensure the success of the business. Then at the point they realized that we have all this infrastructure, we have all these supercomputers everywhere on large expanse of land, but we are not using the entire resources. We're not using the entire computing resources. It's like when power is generated at a power plant and there is still something left over, like maybe the city or the town cannot use the entire power that the power plant is generating. So they said, we have all these resources. Let's go into the business of cloud computing. Let's lease our servers, our storage, our application to other organizations so that they don't have to invest into this infrastructure. They don't have to invest into what they don't need at their capacity, so that they can keep buying what they need per time and they can scale up. So that is how it works. So cloud computing is based on the concept of delivering computing as a utility. Delivering computing as a utility. So how do I even break this further? So that you understand that there's really no big deal in this cloud computing thing. Some of you are saying, oh, tech, this. No, there's no big deal in all these things, right? If you're ready to learn, then you are good to go, right? So let me also break it down. Okay, some of you know, you have a system on your system. Oh, you have an 8 gig RAM, and maybe you have like 1 terabyte on your system, but your entire file, all your files is just maybe like 10 gig. When you download some movies, maybe 20 gig, right? But you have a system that has 1 terabyte, that's 1,000 gig. At the same time, you have a system that does, maybe you have a 16 gig RAM, and there is no point that the processing capacity of your RAM is even up to 50% or 20%. So you have a RAM that is like 24 gig, but you are using maybe 10% of that capacity. So that's the concept of the cloud, right? So cloud computing, why is cloud computing very important? It offers scalability. So because you don't have to invest into the infrastructure at a go, you can only use what you need and buy what you need per time based on your level. It helps organizations to scale. It helps flexibility. It helps cost savings. Of course, if you're not buying everything at a go, you only buy what you need, and you're saving. And security. Security, because as an organization, and that is why organizations use AWS, they use Azure, they use GCP, because anything can happen to your traditional servers. And a lot of banks are catching on to the east. Anything can happen to your traditional servers. So your work files is backed up in the cloud, backed up with Azure, backed up with AWS. So in case anything happens to your traditional server, to your internal network, your files are backed up somewhere. And operations can continue as if nothing happened, because there could be incidences like maybe there's a fire disaster, there's an earthquake, or something goes wrong, or there's an accident and the server is down, the server in the organization is down, they can switch on to the cloud and operations will continue from the cloud, right? So very important. I always like to use Netflix as a case study, right, to explain the cloud. If you are watching me, if you are listening to me and you understand what I'm saying, can I see your hands? I need to be sure that you understand. I want to be sure that you understand what I'm saying. Do you understand all my analogy and explanation? Right? I need that encouragement. Okay, I can see some hands raised. So I think I will end with the illustration on Netflix. Netflix is a good example of cloud. Is a good example of cloud, but I think it's loading and I don't think I have enough time for all this. So I just have to move on. So we have infrastructure as a cloud, we have platform as a cloud, and we have software as a service, right? So why cloud computing is in high demand, the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, we know about that, which led to an increase in demand for cloud computing engineers and architects. Of course, because the world was shut down, so everybody had to work from home, and you can only work from home as a result of the cloud. So files are in the cloud, everything is in the cloud. So it led to a spike. Professionals with cloud skills are witnessing a spike in demand from hiring companies. Global job sites Indeed identified the booming cloud skills as a major trend in the tech skills market, right? So there are multiple roles in the cloud computing world, and that's one beauty of the cloud, right? So you have the cloud architect, you have the cloud engineer, you have the cloud security analyst, cloud database administrator. AWS has 33% of the market, Azure 22%, GCP 10%, right? So these are the things that makes the cloud very interesting. So let me try to do this with us and share this with us. So, okay, now, right now. Okay, so let's go to Netflix. So we're right here on Netflix. Right now, Netflix has, I think, hundreds of millions of subscribers. And let me just pause this. They have hundreds of millions of subscribers, and thousands, if not tens of thousands of movies. And you all are watching the movies, watching these movies. But Netflix makes use of AWS. So all these movies are stored on AWS. All these movies are on AWS, right? They're on AWS. All these movies are there. So when you click a movie, when you click any of these movies, AWS fetches that movie for you. That is how it works. And Netflix keeps buying more subscription as their users increase and as the volume of the movies on this platform increases. So Netflix doesn't have to invest into the infrastructure that AWS has invested into. They don't have to. AWS has done that already. So by next year, when Netflix subscribers increases, when their subscriber increases, that means that the processing speed they need will increase. When more movies come onto this platform, that means the storage they need will increase. So they will just increase their subscription plan with AWS. So Netflix focuses on what they know how to do best, producing movies. While AWS focuses on what they know how to do best, which is helping to store these movies, ensuring that the hundreds of millions of users globally can access these movies at any time they want to, so that there won't be a situation of, oh, the server is down. You cannot access this movie right now. There are many requests on these movies. So anytime you see all those things, or, oh, server is down, there are many requests, it is because the capacity of that server has been exceeded. And that is why you can't get that request. So that's how I can explain that. So now I also need to share with you what is causing the prospect of the cloud market. So I will show you rise in the cloud, in cloud adoption. Rise of cloud adoption. Okay. So now let's just share this. Now, so let's look at over the past decade, cloud adoption has accelerated at a remarkable pace. Cloud adoption has accelerated at a remarkable pace. According to Zapier, 94% of organizations now use some form of cloud computing in their operations. 94% of organizations. Now, Forbes said the cloud computing market is projected to grow from $677 billion in 2023 to $2.4 billion in 2030. So the world is not leaving the cloud. The world is going to the cloud. You get that? The world is not leaving the cloud. The world is going to the cloud. So let's also look at this. Let me click on one of these links that I can show. Okay, I think this will help. Edge Delta. So we can see the projection. Okay, cool. So now use cloud as general. Okay, so let's look at the numbers. So this is 2022, right? This is 2022. So you can see how it's rising, and it will just keep rising. 2022, 2023, 2024, it will just keep going up because organizations are migrating to the cloud, right? They are migrating to the cloud. So the best way is to position yourself for that migration. Position yourself. So cloud is not just for now, it's for the future. So there are jobs in the present, but these jobs will keep increasing. It will keep increasing. So to transition is just the best decision for now, right? So back to my slide. I've shared with you Amazon Web Service, Microsoft, Azure, Google Cloud Platform. So, right. Okay. Now, another thing I want to share with us right now is, so that being said, back to my slide, or let's say my outline, the outline I was using. So what have we done so far? Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cloud engineering? I've explained that. I've done that already. What exactly is cloud engineering? I've done that. So the next question is how to break into tech as a cloud engineer. How to break into tech as a cloud engineer. And at this point, these are practical steps. Very soon, I'll be bringing one of our students to just share their experience with the program, right? So, but before they come up, let me just share this with you. So how do you break into tech as a cloud engineer without a computer science background or tech background? So it's very easy. Number one, overcome imposter syndrome, right? So don't think you can do it. Don't think it's hard, right? I have students of ours, I have tutors of ours in Agital who studied biology, who studied biology education, who studied law, who studied sociology, who are working today with multinationals as cloud engineers. You can check out our Instagram page. You see a lot of testimonials there. So don't think you are not capable. Overcome imposter syndrome. It's not hard. Of course, you have to put in the work. You have to attend classes, you know, do your assignments, do your certifications, do all those stuff, but it's doable. People studied sociology, studied biology education, studied law, have transitioned into tech as cloud engineers. So you also can. It's not hard. And one of the reasons why I'm very passionate about this is because tech offers an alternative. An alternative. Of course, you have to put in the work. You need to attend classes. You need to do your part. But it offers an alternative because I tell people that there's nothing wrong with menial jobs. Nothing wrong with it. Menial jobs are good. Menial jobs are fine, right? But what is wrong is if you have to do menial jobs forever. That's where the challenge is. And I tell people, because we at the moment, we have hundreds of students in the UK, maybe close to 400 or 500 of students in the UK at the moment, right? Undergoing training with us. So, and I understand the terrain very well. And what I always tell people is, yes, your menial job is paying the bills at the moment, or maybe not menial job, or you're not so like, this is not your dream job. Let me call it that way. It's not like your dream job, but it's a job that you pay the bills, you live a life, right? So this menial job is paying the bills right now. Don't quit your menial job, right? But I tell people, reduce the hours if possible, right? Or if you don't have to, just know that you have to put in some time into learning cloud. And I'm always very sincere. If you'll be coming for this bootcamp, be ready to commit 2 hours every day to learning. Of course, classes host twice in a week, right? But be ready to commit 2 hours. 2 hours. And classes host during the week, Mondays and Thursdays. But 2 hours every day to your projects, to your assignments, to learn. Please take note of that. So if you can still do the 2 hours and still clock in all your hours, that's fine, not a problem. So while you are holding on to this, you are developing this, because this has a future. This has a future. Why? Because when you do, when you break into tech, your first job might pay you maybe £65,000, depending, it varies, might be £45,000, it might be £75,000, you know, depending on how you negotiated and how you package yourself. But that would be the least you will ever get, because as you keep developing in the industry, you keep going higher. And the interesting thing is that, I'm just looking at the time, there are some of our students who, when they relocated, they didn't even relocate to the UK. They relocated to other countries, Poland, you know, Estonia, Latvia. And from there, they got a job in the UK. They found their way to the UK, right? And there are people too who are in the UK working in tech. And from there, they get a job in Canada or get a job in the US, a better job with visa sponsorship over there, because tech is global. I have a student of ours who was offered a job in Germany, but he wasn't ready to relocate with his family, so he still stayed in the UK. So so you are not limited. You can move, and you can move with better offers. You don't even have to move. Even in the UK, you can get better offer because as you keep acquiring experience in that area. So that is the strategy. So nobody should disdain your manual job or your job that is not your dream job, because at least that is giving you stability. But use that stability to build something that will actually last, right? Something that will last, something that will give you the life of your dreams, and something that is not that demanding, right? So I think at this point, even though I'm not done yet, I will have to bring in one of our students on this call, right? So to share our experience with the training program at Agital. So, right. Share experience. Okay, so and him. Okay, Akim is already here, so I'll bring Akim first, right? So Akim will join us, and I will ask Akim a few questions about his experience with the Agital training. So I've promoted Akim to panelist, right? So, okay. Akim will be rejoining as a panelist. Okay, so Akim is right here. So I will make Akim the host so that we can see Akim's face. Right. So, hello, Akim. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay. Good to hear from you. How is work and how is family?
Fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Okay, cool. So thanks for coming around tonight and for being at this session tonight. Really appreciate that. So we have students here who are trying to come into the program and who just want to have an idea of how the program has been, right? So first of all, I just want you to introduce yourself to us and what you do. Let's get to know you, right?
Akim is my name. So
Okay.
I am in Nigeria, but currently I'm in the United States. So I do, like you said, I do all these many jobs for now, but I'm getting tired. So that's why I think people do tech, work from home. It is easier, and people get well paid right here. They get a lot, they work less. So I have a friend of mine who is doing that currently, and he happened to be the one that said, "You too, you can do it." So that's how I sought out for somebody to teach me this cloud stuff.
Okay, cool. So how did you get to know about Agital?
I have a friend of mine who is in the other group. So who told me about these classes. So I just say, let me give it a try, because I have done a classes somewhere before. I know what is really look like. Not everybody knows this thing. Not everybody does know this thing. So I just want to give it a try, and to God be the glory. I didn't regret joining the class.
Okay. So now, the other question I want to ask you. So you decided to give it a try because your friend told you about it. So I think that has been answered because you came via a recommendation.
Yeah.
Right. So how has the program been so far? And what are the things you have been able to do in the cloud as a result of the training program? I know that you don't have a tech background, so just share with us your experience so far.
My background is accounting when I was in Nigeria.
Wow.
So and when I first heard of this cloud, it looked really strange to me, and I was like, I don't even have background in tech. I know I did something like basic computer when we were in school. So and I know it's really tough for me in them. So like the programming language and some other stuff like that. But I just said, well, in as much as my friend said he's doing it, why not me? And when I joined this class,
Yeah.
to be honest, my instructor is very, very good. In fact, I was really wow when she's a woman. And that's what really surprised me. And at the same time, she did the introduction on the first class. She happened to be a lawyer. And
Exactly. She's a lawyer.
I keep asking her on that very day, how did you know this thing very well to this extent? And we have done a lot of projects. Right now, we are on CICD. We did Python on Sunday. We did another project last week on Saturday. We learn a lot. It's time consuming. You just have to be committed. Like you said, you just have to take your time to go over and over, not just to read, not just to listen. You need to practicalize it. And I'm making progress. I am really, because I don't even know CICD before. It's always really, really tough.
It
but
looks like
now,
Greek when you say CICD.
yes, that is continuous integration and continuous development. And I am really, really impressed. If you join this group, trust me, you are on the right path. You are on the right path to success. You are on the right path. Like he said, to get the job might be a little bit tough, but if you know it, the job is. They will just be sending you mail. We saw your LinkedIn profile. We think you can be suitable for this. They will just be sending you mails, and you'll be doing the interview. To God be the glory. If you are really lucky with your experience, skill set, you'll get the job.
Interesting. So I think I understand that maybe some recruiters have reached out to you. Can you just share some of those experiences, maybe some interviews you've gone for yet? Just share those experiences with us.
I actually did like 2 interviews recently. I scaled through the first stage because they are just asking the elementary aspect of it. But the second stage is a little bit tough because it has to do with the technical questions. How you lay your hands on some kind of, how can you make 2 virtual machines to connect, or how do you want to block a specific IP? So those things, I didn't know it when I was just curious just to familiar myself with what is really going on. But right now, I can say that if I still get another opportunity, though when I did that first 2, I have to pause to learn more because I don't want to jeopardize my chances with the recruiter. Maybe they are taking note of people who say this one is not serious and some other stuff. Yes, so I have to lay low for a little bit while let me just finish these classes. We started in June, so probably we are moving towards an end. So let me just take a pause and finish whatever you are doing. Then I take my time to read, study for exams. If God be, if God say it's my time, then I get a job.
Interesting. So what I always tell people, right, is that they shouldn't be. It's good that after the first interview, you're just there to give yourself time. And I also like the part that you said that you noted those things, and now that those things that you didn't know then, you now know them now. Yes. Right? Yeah, the second stage of the interview. So, and to people who are watching us, this job thing, like you have said, it's not a mystery. So I always tell people that it is the recruiters, it is the interviews that we coach you for the job. So let me just try to explain to our viewers. So you finish a training, or maybe before you are done with the training, you go for interviews. So you go for the first interview, right? Assuming you didn't pass that. It's not a big deal. That's how I tell people. it's even good that you didn't pass the interview. Then you go for the second one, you go for the third one. By the time you go for 2, 3, some people are lucky, the second interview, they get the job from the experience of our students. But by the time you go for the second and the third, you already start to know how the recruiters think. You already know what they are looking for. You now understand that, okay, this is what the market really wants. Then we now have students that by the time they now get these things, when they get the job, they have like 3, 4 offers, right? Because now they've now understood, okay, so this is what the market, this is how this thing works. But how did they understand? They understood it because they failed some other interviews by some other recruiters. They now pick those lessons. So subsequent interview, now say, oh, I have 3 offers. So when you hear people saying, oh, I have 3 offers, I have 4 offers, I need to choose one, because they've cracked that thing. They now understand that, okay, are you people? I know what you will ask. You will ask this, you will ask this, because at the end of the day, these technical recruiters, they have a curriculum they follow. They have a system, they have a way around it. So so that's just what I just want to say in that area. So then the final question I want to also ask is that, there's always this fear that people have that, oh, this tech thing, this cloud, when you hear DevOps, CI/CD, Kubernetes, Ansible, so based on your experience with Agital, can you comfortably say that individuals without a tech background can learn cloud engineering
100%.
with the Digital Bootcamp?
100%. 100%. The only thing is just come down to class, listen to the lectures over, practice it, have your own Azure AWS account, do the lab. Then every other thing is easy. And if you have any challenges, they have somebody standby for support who is going to help you if you have any challenges. So that really helps a lot.
Yeah. So I also want to buttress what you've said, that for our viewers, the way our system works, which Akim is well aware of, is aside from your normal classes, which is with the tutor, there's a teaching assistant. And I hope he has been very helpful. I think your teaching assistant is Valentine.
Yes.
So there's a teaching assistant that if you are stuck with the class at any point in time, you can reach out and it will just put you through. Then we also have the career coach. That's Joshua. But have you been attending the career coaching classes?
No.
They had one.
I only attended once, but time is.
I understand.
Yeah, time is.
I understand. Because the career coaching class, they coach you, but if you can't attend, the replays are always there too.
Yes, I know.
Right. So they coach you for the job market. So that's what Joshua does. So having said that, right, I just want to ask this final question. So you work, right? So how have you been coping with working and this class? That could help some of our incoming students.
I try to plan myself. The class is Saturday and Sunday. So sometimes I sleep late. So I try to go over maybe 1 hour on that night, 1 hour on the other night. But on the weekdays, I stop work around 2. I close for work around 2 p.m. So when I get home, I relax, I do whatever I want to do. But between the period of 7 p.m. to 9, I try as much as possible to make sure I learn things that we did in the last class. Because our own instructor is always like, on every month end, every 4 weeks, we always do some kind of tests. To see how progress we are. So everybody wants us to not to lag behind. So he always carry us along. So I try as much as possible to make sure, like, though it wasn't easy, but I just have to do it. Because if you don't do it, you won't know it.
Mm.
You won't know it. But it's just a matter of planning. If it is 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe 3 or 4 times in a week, all is well and good. Just have it at the back of your mind that you have. Once you step into it and you are committed, the money is there.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. All you have to
Yes,
do, all you have to do is to read, study, then go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So planning is very,
Mr.
very
Kim,
important.
thanks. Yeah. Thanks for your time, and wishing you great success
Thank you so much.
in this career path. It's been wonderful having you here tonight. So do have a wonderful time.
All right, thank
and
you.
attend career coaching class.
I
Yeah,
will.
bye.
I will try.
Yeah, bye. Yeah. So I'll be bringing in Rabia too. She's already here to also share her experience with us with the digital training and the cloud parts. She's also one of our students, so let me make her the host. Or let me say Rabiat. Okay, I think Rabiat will do. Okay, I'm trying to add her. Promote. Okay, yeah, she's right here. So I'll make you the host so that we can see your face and so that you can talk to us. So good evening, Rabiatu.
Good evening, Omi.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine too. How was work today?
I didn't go to work today. So
Okay.
schools, primary schools, yeah, are on holiday, so on midterm break, so I'm at home for the week.
Okay. So first of all, thanks for coming around tonight and sharing your experience with our incoming students. So I just want you to introduce yourself to us. So what do you do? Who are you? And let's get to know you, right? At least we know that you are a devout Muslim, as we can see. But tell us other things about yourself. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Rabiat Mohammed, and I have a background in psychology and healthcare management. And I'm currently working as a teaching assistant here in the UK. So
Okay. Okay, cool. So how did you get to know about Agital?
So I got to find out about Hajital from my brother. He also attended Hajital training course cybersecurity. So he got to tell me about cloud computing.
Oh, okay. So you came as a referral. I even thought maybe you watched a webinar, but you were actually a referral. So your brother had sold digital to you.
Yeah, he did.
Interesting. So the next question I want to ask you is, so how has the training program been so far? And what have you been able to do so far in the cloud as a result of the training? So just share with us your progress and your experience with Agital so far.
The training has been amazing, and I really applaud Miss Bumi. So she has been amazing. So I've learned a lot. I've learned Linux. We spent a month on Linux, which was really nice. I've learned a lot. I've learned about how to migrate data from local server to the cloud. A whole lot. Like we've done Kubernetes, Terraform, and we're currently on Jenkins, CI/CD. So, and on Sunday we touched on Python. Yeah, I've learned a lot.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So, okay, cool. So that's good. So have you been building projects?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
we've been building projects and we've been documenting online on
Okay.
Hashnode as well. So,
Mm. So another thing I want to ask is, have you tried to maybe apply maybe for jobs, even though you might not be ready now? Have you been contacted by any recruiter? Just share with us your experience on the career side so far, even though you're not done yet, but just for us to know.
I haven't started applying for jobs yet. So
Okay.
I keep pushing it back, and I know it's not wise for me to keep pushing it like
Okay.
backwards and say, okay, when I'm done with this, I'll apply. So, but hopefully I'll start applying like
Okay.
this week and stuff.
Okay. But what's your reason actually for not starting yet?
Well, nothing really. Like I haven't had should I say the chance?
Mm.
I haven't had the chance. I've been like so busy with a lot of stuff. It's just this week that I'm like relaxed and getting to
Mm.
do other things, personal stuff.
Okay. Okay. So then, now that you're in the UK, because Akim is actually in the US. So and you have a job as a teaching assistant, which I know is quite demanding. So how have you been able to cope with the demands of the training? Because we always advise people, standard advice is be ready to commit at least 2 hours every day. Even on days you don't have a class, just figure it out. Okay, I just need 2 hours every day. If you can commit 2 hours every day, you'll be fine. There's nothing in cloud that you want to master. So how have you been able to do it with your day-to-day job, then with the cloud training, with assignments and the project you have to build? So just walk us through how you have actually been able to do this.
So, I finish from work by 3:30, get back home by 4. So I get to like do personal stuff. Then by 6, I'm already set to like learn something, like go back to the videos,
Mm,
try to redo some of the project on my own and see how it goes. So it's been a bit stressful, but we can't just keep the project hanging and say, oh, I'll come back to it, I'll come back to it, and just leave it
mm,
hanging and forget and move on.
mm,
So,
mm, mm. Okay, I get that. I get that. Okay, so this is like maybe the final question. So based on your experience with the program so far, can you comfortably say that individuals without a tech background can learn cloud engineering with the digital bootcamp? Is it possible if they don't have
def-
a computer science background?
definitely, 100%.
Why? Why is it possible? How can somebody, you mentioned Kubernetes, Ansible, Linux, like all those big words that then you now mention Python, like how is it possible
it's
to learn
it's
those things?
it's it's possible. First, you have to be like dedicated to the weekend classes. You have to listen in, even though you don't like um follow through with the projects, because I know that some of us are maybe working on that weekend, but you have to go back. Definitely have
Mm,
to go back. Practice, follow with the videos, practice, uh, because you get to hear stuff for the first time that day, like on the lesson, you get to hear, oh, this is this. Then you go back um when you are practicing, like, oh, okay, if I do it like this, how is it going to
mm,
turn out? And if you keep practicing, get to see that, oh, okay, this thing is actually easy to do.
mm,
So
mm,
that's it.
mm, mm. Okay, I said that was going to be the last question, but I just remembered two more. So have you had cause to take advantage of the teaching assistants support? Valentine, have you reached out to him on a couple of occasions, and how has been the help, if you
Yeah,
have actually?
yeah, I've been I reached out to Valentine and he has been amazing. I had an issue about some installation and he really helped me with it. So he has been good.
What about the career coaching class? I hope you're not among those who don't attend career coaching.
No, I do attend.
Yeah.
I do
You
attend.
attend. Finally, I found someone that attends because many of our students just feel, oh, once I just know the technical things,
Yeah.
the technical, but we also tell them, and I kept asking, have you been applying? So even though you are undergoing the training, and we also believe that when students start to apply, because people like Bumi, Mary, Valentine, and some of these guys, while the training was going on, they had started their job process, right? And by the time they were done, a few months after they finished their training, then they got their job. So we just always advise that, yeah, of course, we are not in a hurry. People should do things at their pace, but you just have that experience. That's always that. You just have that experience. Okay, so this is how it's called demystifying that labor market. It's just demystified, right? So the way cloud has been demystified now, that before you came into the program, when you hear Kubernetes, Linux, that Linux will look like Arabic. When the first of all
Yes.
started, everything just right. But later, that there's nothing inside this thing now. This Kubernetes, when you hearing the word Kubernetes, it just look like something that is Kubernetes, but so that same way, the labor market too, just when you are looking at those job application, just a job description is looking like must do this, must have this, must that. But I can tell you for a free that when you get into the workplace, and I say this from experience with hundreds of our students, you realize that many of those things they wrote there, they don't actually use them in the workplace, right? So I always advise students to just apply, even when they are not ready to get the job, but you just see how this thing looks like, and you realize that there's no mystery to this thing, right? So how's the career coaching been really like with Joshua? He actually works with he's a cloud solutions architect at the moment, and he works with AWS, right? So no, I think he works with BP at the
Azure.
moment, but he has done AWS. He has worked with AWS. He has a lot of experience. That's why I struggle to remember the current company he's working with. So how's the career coaching classes been?
Yeah, the career coaching class has been amazing. Joshua is amazing. Like he actually puts us through what we need and what the recruiters are going to ask, like the way we should put our CV. Like the last class, I think I asked him a question if our current experience we should put it, and he was like, "Yeah, you should put your current experience, matter what." But there's a way you structure it so that it won't be like you're too how do I put it? Like we shouldn't undersell ourselves. You get. So yeah, he has been amazing.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Rabia, too. Thank you for your time tonight, and wishing you great success. I know by the time next time I'll be hearing from you, it will be your testimonial of how you have gotten £100,000 per annum job, right? And how you'll be
Yes, sir.
sending your tithes to us. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's nice having you on this call. Yeah, my regards to the family, right, and to
All right,
everyone.
thank you. Thank
So
you.
just hold on. Let me reclaim the hosts so that yeah. Thank you. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
time. So I think I'll bring
You
in
too.
Abid. Yeah, Abid. I think Abid should be here. So Abid is a technical recruiter. He has worked at LinkedIn, at Microsoft, at Teradata, and a host of other institutes like that. So when we say technical recruiter, Abid sits on the panel that recruits tech professionals. So that's the meaning of technical recruiter. So Abid will be sharing with us tonight what really goes on from application to congratulations, right? So
Wow.
from the point at which you apply, hi Abid, how are you doing?
Hello, I like that one. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
You like the word I said from application to congratulations,
Absolutely, that's a
right?
good one. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So nice having you here tonight as we talk about tech, right? So how is UK today, Abid?
Thank you. The UK again, it's the start of almost the start of November. Of course, we're approaching Halloween, so it's dark, cold, and miserable, just as you would expect, right?
Wow, wow, interesting. Don't worry, it will soon be over. All right. So tonight we're talking to cloud incoming students for our cloud engineering program in the UK, and just trying to let them have an awareness of how the program is. So how was the last career coaching session? Okay, no, it
Yes.
was Joshua that had. When was your last career coaching session?
The last one was around a week and a half ago, and
Okay.
we had a really good time just talking about interview questions for 90
Okay.
minutes. The types of interview questions, what one should expect, how to answer those questions, and how you can find information on answering those questions. And before we begin today's session, I've got a little bit of a surprise for you, Yomi, as well. So you
Okay.
are the
Yeah,
one that
I'm listening.
normally asks me the questions, but what I thought I
Yeah.
would do to kick off today's session with you is
Yeah.
use my magic deck of cards that we used to use actually in large
Mm.
organization. I mean, this one's actually particularly from LinkedIn. You could probably see the branding there. And we
Yeah.
used to use these as conversation starters. So I know we're short on time, but I'm going to pick one at random.
Mm.
I'll ask you the
Yeah.
question, and it will be just great to hear your answer. So there you go. I don't know if you can see, but just tell me when to stop, and I'll pick one at random.
Okay. So I
This
think
one,
I'll just go for the K. No, I'll go for the K.
you go for the K. I can't even see that.
K.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
the first one. Okay, the K, the
Yeah.
king. Okay, so the question here is a genie grants you the ability to have infinite amounts of one item. What would that be?
Mm. To have an infinite amount of one item, what
Hmm.
would that be, right? Ah, I think I would choose time because once you have time, you can live forever and you can do anything you want to do, right?
Absolutely, that's a very, very good answer, and particularly well done, given the
Yeah.
fact that I put you on the spot there. And I think these
Yeah.
conversation starters are great because it just shows, I mean, we do these decks and we have conversations, we have serious conversations, but at the end of the day, we're all just
Mm.
human, and it's just nice to get to know the
Mm.
human part of somebody who's on the
Mm.
other end doing a webinar or a
Yeah.
conversation. So thank you for
Yeah.
participating in that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you too. At least that was entertaining.
And it wasn't too
Yeah.
difficult, was it?
No, it wasn't actually. It wasn't. So I think the first question I just have tonight is why do recruiters go on LinkedIn? Because we've had many of our students that recruiters actually reached out to. They didn't apply for a job. Recruiters just reached
Mm.
out to them. So why do recruiters go on LinkedIn to poach for candidates instead of running a job advert? And what do they look out for in the LinkedIn profile before they send an interview invite to the candidates? Right. So yeah, and what other websites? So it's like a 3-in-1. Then what other websites do recruiters use aside from LinkedIn? So over to you on that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing is fundamentally is that LinkedIn
Mm.
lets recruiters be proactive rather than just waiting around for applications to come in. And instead of hoping that the right person sees the job ad, recruiters can go out and find exactly who they are looking for as well. Because remember,
Mm.
when a job advert is placed, and more often than not, the recruiter is also under time pressure as well as the hiring manager, because they need that person in that post pretty quickly. It could be for a variety of reasons. They're replacing somebody who's about to leave. They've handed in their notice and they've got a 1 month notice period. So they don't want that continuity in the job to break, or it could be that a brand new project's come up. They've received an infinite amount of money, funding wise. They want to kickstart that project and they want to be the best team, or they want to get ahead of competition. So there's a whole range of reasons why we as recruiters would also be under time pressure as well. So rather than, as I said earlier, waiting for the right person to see the job, and that could take days, it could take weeks, let's be honest. We as recruiters, we would proactively go out and search for candidates. So if you're a cloud engineer with skills in, say, AWS or Azure, and that's what we look for, you're most likely, you're most likely to come up in a search, in a recruiter search. So LinkedIn has those great details like recommendations and specific job history that we as recruiters can search for, and it helps us assess fit before those candidates reach out to us. And as I say, it's just much more efficient, especially for niche roles where qualified candidates may not even be on the job hunt. And if take this situation as of a cloud engineer, say for example, we're looking for AWS or Azure. We might have lots of candidates applying with Google Cloud experience, but that's not what we're looking for. We need that bum on that seat very quickly. So rather than waiting for those applicants that have the AWS or Azure to come and greet us, why not make it a mutual connection in terms of why don't we meet them halfway and we look out for them as well? So that's one of the main reasons. We could probably do a full session on why recruiters use LinkedIn, but that's just skimming the surface of that, because I am conscious of time and I'm also conscious that it was a 3-in-1 question. So what do recruiters look for in a LinkedIn profile before they send a interview invite? I think was the second part of your question. So recruiters usually zoom in on a few key things here. And first off, they'll look at the headline of a candidate, and that's kind of like your elevator pitch, if you like. So if it clearly states your role, like, I don't know, cloud engineer specializing in Azure and AWS, that's gonna catch my attention if that's what I'm looking for. And we will also dig into your experience section as well, looking for relevant skills and accomplishments, seeing specific cloud engineer tools or technologies that can really stand out, skills endorsements and recommendations from colleagues. They are a massive help on someone's LinkedIn profile too, adding that extra layer of credibility. And we all know, credibility in anything that you do is very, very important. And it carries the same amount of weight, credibility, when even, you're applying for jobs as well. We look at things like, do you engage in posts on LinkedIn? Do you share industry insights? These little things, it can appear as little things, but it shows that you're genuinely interested in the field, which is always a good sign. So we will look out for quite a lot of things, but those are some of the key things that we will look out for as well. In terms of other websites recruiters use to source apart from LinkedIn. So as we know, I think everybody on this call will know that LinkedIn is big, but it's not the only recruiter tool that we use.
Yes.
Indeed, there's Indeed, I should say, and there's Glassdoor. Those are popular for finding active job seekers, especially in tech. And then there are tools or places like GitHub. It's like a portfolio of engineers where recruiters can actually see coding work, which is a huge plus as well for us recruiters. Stack Overflow, that's another great one, especially for supporting developers who are actively solving problems and contributing to discussions. And, you know, for those interested in startup environments, there's one called AngelList. It's often where recruiters look as well. And sometimes recruiters even scout through specific tech companies like Reddit threads or Slack groups as well to find talent within specialized skills. Now, again, a disclaimer from my side. I've just, you know, been skimming over the surface. By all means, this is not a comprehensive list, but it will just give you some sort of an idea as to the places that technical recruiters would normally visit. So just to recap, there's GitHub, there's AngelList, Stack Overflow, Indeed, Glassdoor, and if you're in the UK, you'll know that Reed is a big job board here as well. So you know, Reed, Total Jobs. So there's a plethora, but as I say, it's nowhere near a comprehensive list. I've just skimmed the surface with that.
Okay, so thanks for that. The next question I have is, so let's talk about visa sponsorship jobs, right? Because a lot of people in the UK, they want to have jobs that will sponsor their visa. So what's the advice to candidates who have acquired a tech skill, a cloud engineering skill, and who are looking for visa sponsorship jobs in the UK? What would be your advice to them? Considering the time of the year, we're in October now, like, so what should be their strategy? How should they go about this after they've acquired the requisite tech skill?
Okay, so I think my first bit of advice would be that candidates should target the right companies and focus on those that are known to offer visa sponsorship. Look for the larger tech companies, especially in fields like cloud engineering and data science, since these roles are in high demand and many UK companies are willing to sponsor visas to fill those gaps. So let me just put that into perspective a little bit as well. So the chances are, I mean, if I do a comparison, so if you've targeted a small company, let's say that's between, I don't know, 10 to 15 employees, it's probably a startup, and you're applying from Nigeria, the chances that they'll offer you a visa sponsorship are very slim because they themselves have just barely gotten off the ground. So you're going to utilize that energy, and chances are that energy is likely to go to waste. Just you know, I'm basing this on the law of averages, you know, a small company versus a large company. So if you target the sort of the larger companies, they will be more willing to sponsor you for visas to fill those gaps just because they'll just have better cash flow. They'll have more resources to put, you know, to the candidate. So target the right companies is definitely one. And then the second piece of advice from my side is to make sure that your LinkedIn profile and your CV are both optimized to highlight your skills clearly. Include relevant keywords like cloud engineer, AWS or Azure, and any certifications as well that you may have. This way, as recruiters, we can quickly see the value you bring, and also make connections with people in the industry as well. So don't be afraid to reach out on LinkedIn and build a network, because sometimes a referral can make all the difference. Remember, if you're coming into the tech industry or any industry, it's all, and I cannot stress this enough, it's all about relationships. And I cannot stress that enough. So show recruiters that and prospective employers that you're active on LinkedIn, build a network, and as I say, sometimes a referral That's all you need to get on track. Being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right person who's remembered you, and then gone and spoken with his or her boss about you. That's all you need to, change your look within seconds. And I think finally, if you are looking for visa sponsorship, stay flexible with location and role as well. So there's no good sort of saying that, oh, I only want to role in London, say for example, where you know that there's going to be plenty of people applying for the same role, because at the end of the day, a lot of people want to work in London, right? So be flexible on the location, be flexible on the role, and being open to different areas or other positions to get your foot in the door. And remember to check if the company's visa sponsorship policy aligns with your needs. So you're applying where you have the best chance, and getting a sponsored job is competitive, but with the right approach, you will increase your chances. But I think you just need to sometimes, a lot of people say finding a job is a job in itself, but sometimes we just need to take that step back and just come up with a plan. And as opposed to using that scattergun approach where you're going to shoot everybody, just step back, think about what you're going to be doing, look at research geographical locations, perhaps take a step back, and then once you've got your plan, you are much more likely to succeed.
Okay, that's good to know. So, the other question I want to ask is for newbies transitioning into tech as a cloud and DevOps engineer, from your experience, how does a portfolio of projects and certifications make up for the lack of practical work experience?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
So I would say certainly for cloud or DevOps people, certifications is an absolute game changer. And if you think of it like this, a portfolio of projects shows recruiters that you know how to apply what you've learned. Because learning is one thing, application is a whole new ball
another thing.
game. And
Yeah.
even if you haven't held a full-time role yet, projects give recruiters proof that you can build, manage, and troubleshoot real-world systems. So, for example, let me, creating a sample AWS deployment or setting up a CI/CD pipeline shows hands-on skills that will go beyond theory, because you've done it, you've created that project, you've had the theory, of course. I mean, we can all go to school, can't we? And we can all sit in a classroom, but if we don't apply what we've learned, it just goes down the drain, right? So these sort of certifications and portfolios are an absolute game changer. They're they're important because they, again, I'm going to use the word credibility. They do act as a stamp of credibility. So if you've got certifications like AWS Certified Solutions Architect or Azure DevOps Engineer, it just shows that you've put in the effort to gain industry recognized skills. And they tell the employers quite simply that this person knows their stuff and they're committed to learning. So absolutely essential, I would say. And again, I'm gonna, use the word game changer because they really are game changers.
Okay. So finally, you anchor career coaching sessions and once in 2 weeks where students learn about CV revamp, LinkedIn optimization, interview prep, and a whole lot of other career related information. But can you just share with our incoming students what they should be expecting at the career coaching sessions handled by you, right?
Sure, absolutely. So I would say, first of all, a lot of fun. So I try to make my sessions interactive as possible so that anybody can jump in. But what we can expect is to learn everything associated with talent acquisition in a nutshell from a recruiter's point of view. So if you like, it's an exclusive behind the scenes access to what goes on in the life of a recruiter when we get the job, how we source the candidates, what sort of conversations we have with the hiring manager, what makes us choose these choose specific candidates, and then how we go about processing those candidates as well. So as I say, we have a fun time. We talk everything to do with recruitment. We talk about everything to do with talent acquisition, as you know, from the search to I think something like you said. I can't remember your tagline now, but yeah, from the beginning,
Application to
right?
congratulations. Yeah,
Application to congratulations. That's the one. You
congratulations.
should
Yeah,
trademark that one, Yobi.
I will.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so absolutely, we talk about everything to do with talent acquisition. And I see that Rabiatu is still on the call, and she was your contributor earlier on. I know Rabiatu has been in a few of my career coaching sessions, so I'm not sure if Rabiatu is still there and if she wants to come on and she can testify
Yeah.
and tell you all.
I think she's off. But just continue, right? I think she has said quite some things already. So let's not stress her again. Yeah.
Perfect. But no,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Rabiatu is one of those candidates who
Mm,
actively joins and participates and
mm,
has lots of
mm.
questions, which I hope I've answered
Oh,
for her
good.
throughout the time. But yeah,
Yeah.
we will look at your digital footprint as well as your paper. A trail of CVs as well,
Mm,
how to update CVs, and a whole load of new content where, you know, as candidates, potential candidates, you get the opportunity to ask an experienced recruiter anything that you
mm,
perhaps don't understand in the world of
right.
recruitment as well.
Yeah. Okay, so Abi, thank you for tonight. It's been a wonderful session, and I know that the students have a lot to learn from you at the career coaching sessions, right? So do have a wonderful night rest. Bye for now. So I think
Thank you. Take care.
I'll go back to my slide and wrap it up. Thanks, Abi. Yeah. So people, I think we just have to conclude this. We don't have much time. So our program starts Thursday. That's next week, Thursday, which is 7th November. 7th November. Yeah, I'm right. It's 7th November. Classes holds Mondays and Thursdays. Classes holds Mondays and Thursdays. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays and Thursdays, right? And then we have career coaching classes once in 2 weeks. And that's the career coaching class in 2 weeks. Here we talk about like myself, like Abida said, CV revamp, LinkedIn optimization, interview prep, building portfolio of projects, etc. Right? So the program is for 6 months. That's the technical program. But career coaching classes continues even after the 6 months program has ended. That's how it works. So career coaching classes continues even after the 6 months program has ended. So career coaching class just continues until you transition. That's the way it works. It's the technical program that ends. And in the technical program, you will learn Azure, like I said, AWS, and GCP. So you learn the three. The program is 350 British pounds. 350 British pounds. That is if you are doing one-time payment. Deadline is next week, Thursday, and classes starts next week, Thursday. So next week, Thursday, 7th November, that is the deadline, right? So if you are doing 2 times payment, you do 250 GBP, then 200 GBP, right? So for inquiries, don't worry, this session is recorded. So the replay will be shared. For inquiries, you can WhatsApp this number and WhatsApp this number for your inquiries. Just WhatsApp. Right, WhatsApp this number and we're good to go. So that's for the inquiries, right? So that's just it, right? Further clarifications will be posted on the WhatsApp group. We're trying not to make this very long, right? So if you have further questions, so somebody saying I'm in Nigeria, I cannot pay in pounds, right? Yeah, cloud computing is the same as DevOps, so Android. The same thing as DevOps. We teach everything together. The bootcamp is 100% online. If you're in Nigeria, you just pay 700,000 Naira. That's in Naira, right? So just WhatsApp for inquiries, right? And we'll take it up from there. I will take 2 more questions. And if there's no other question, you can always WhatsApp this line for any questions you have. Just WhatsApp and we'll take it up from there. So I've said it all. Mondays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. career coaching classes, those ones in 2 weeks. And I think on Saturdays, once in 2 weeks on Saturdays, same 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. UK time. Career coaching classes don't end even after the program has ended. It is a technical program that is 6 months. Career coaching classes continues after then. Other things, there are certifications. So I should also put it, there are certifications. You'll be getting certifications. There'll be work reference. If you need a work reference, we're always ready to help you with that. So, and any other thing that you might need, career networking and the rest. So are there other questions? Okay, so like I said, 250 pounds for first installment. So here's the thing, for those who want to do instrumental, 250 British pounds, first installment. Then the second installment is 200 GBP. Second installment. Right, so that's how it works. So that's how it works. Right, so I think I'm done here tonight. So if you have further questions, just WhatsApp this line. If you have further questions that you need answers to, WhatsApp +234 8077587734, and your questions will be answered. Your questions will be answered. So thank you. People, do have a lovely night rest. See you in the class. I leave you one word. Don't give in to analysis paralysis. Take that step right now and transition to tech. Bye for now. Bye.